breaking inputs here coming in. The Madras High Court making a statement raising doubts over Jayalalitha's death. Now, a judge at the Madras High Court has stated it is his personal opinion here, but he has doubts over the death of Amma due to the circumstances that led up to it. This, of course, being clarified by the judge himself, saying that this is his personal opinion. The Madras High Court there raising doubts. The judge here saying, even though it is his personal opinion, he's put it on record, saying that he has doubts over the circumstances under which Jayalalithaa breathed her last. I remember several have been stating, some of Amma's supporters as well have been saying that there needs to be an investigation, or Shashikala and her team, Jayalalitha's core team, should be releasing those details to public, to her supporters, on what exactly led up to her death. Our correspondent Lokpriya getting us these details. Lokpriya, is this a statement here that's being made by court? Has he put it on record in the courtroom? He's even though clarifying that this is his personal opinion.
Well, this is Judge Vaidyalingam who has made these comments on a petition, and he has said that he's made these remarks stating that why has Jayalalitha's health not been made public, and he raises doubts over the demise of the former Chief Minister, and also goes on to state why did the central government keep quiet on this, why there was no clarification that was given with respect to this regard. There has been many doubts that were raised on Jayalalitha's demise, and opposition parties demanded a white paper from the ruling government stating that the ruling government should come out with details because there is a lot of rumor mongering that is going on, and also to quell these rumors there should be a white paper on the health treatment that was given to
Lokpriya, are we effectively saying the chorus here growing as far as the demand to release the details on what really led to her death? What caused her breathing her last, because news that had come in just a few hours before her passing away was that she's recovered and she's ready to leave hospital. So are we looking at a scenario where the chorus to release these details only increasing?
Well, definitely yes, because we saw the Apollo Hospital's chairman Pratap C. Reddy talking to the media, stating that Jayalalitha is recovering well and she can be discharged whenever she wants to. So these were the statements that were made by none other than Apollo Hospital chairman Pratap Reddy itself prior to her demise, about a week prior to her demise. And suddenly on the 4th of December, we got the news that Jayalalitha suffered a cardiac arrest, and on the 5th she passed away. So
please stay with us. Yes, getting in a view here from the DMK as well, Mr. A. Saravanan with us over the phone line. Thanks for being with us. Given the fact that the DMK has been stating along similar lines, echoing the same sentiment, now you have a Madras High Court judge saying the same, even though maintaining that this is his personal opinion, but nevertheless it comes in as a huge voice in wanting the details to be out. Mr. Saravanan, is my voice going through, please?
Yeah, that's what our leader NK Saran has already wanted a white report on what has happened to Selvi Jayalalithaa, the treatment given. See, all this thing could have been avoided if the state government has come out with a statement or with the health report. Nobody wanted the intimate details of, the treatment given, but just, what happened to her? What was the prognosis? That was not done. I think the judge of the Madras High Court was very proper, in asking this. See, this is the doubt. This has been on the mind of the common man. He's lent voice to the common man.
Please stay with us. Dr. Subramaniam Swamy of the BJP with us as well. Dr. Swamy, thanks for being with us. Would you maintain the same view here that these details should be out? It's high time now. We're looking at a few weeks over after her passing away, and this is what some of her supporters have been saying as well.
Well, since the matter in the High Court, why can't the High Court judge issue a direction?
Okay.
That file all the papers connected with the thing, and an affidavit by Dr. P.C. Reddy of Apollo Hospital as to what the sequence of events are. I mean, it's no use our raising doubts, because for me, I didn't visit the hospital. I was not in her funeral ceremony or any of the other places, so I really have no first-hand knowledge. But I would assume that if the judge has raised the doubts, he should issue directions now to both the state government, union government too, because the Intelligence Bureau, I'm sure, has a report on it, and also to the Apollo Hospital.
So what you're saying, Dr. Swami, here, that just stating that this being his personal opinion, he should go a step ahead, issue these directions instructing both the hospital as well as the state government.
Yes, because the Supreme Court itself has said observations of the judges, not written down orders, are not to be taken seriously. They are made as to clarify the doubts, and therefore you can't rely on that. So on that basis, if he has just expressed a doubt, I would say, okay, then please issue directions or issue a notice to the state government, the Apollo Hospital, and the central government.
Dr. Swami, this also, of course, does raise doubts to who were part of Jayalalitha's core team. More importantly, VK Shashikala there. Interestingly, this also being a timing when we just looked at the General Council meet here taking place, which is to appoint her as the General Secretary of the party. It does raise, it does indicate, it does point fingers to her and Jayalalitha's core team on how they really handle this.
Well, you see, those are informal opinions. See, when the matter is in court, all these things can be laid down in black and white in terms of documents and papers. And I'm afraid all that we have been doing is speculating. You know, this is like Agatha Christie. You see, what this could have happened, that could have happened. These now murder mysteries, you see, are something which anybody can speculate on. I think it's too serious a matter for me to express an opinion when I have no data at all.
Okay.
And I would say that when the matter is in the High Court, it was the responsibility of the judge that if he has a doubt, he should issue notice.
Mr. Saravanan, would you agree with that? That's where it's rests. Instead of the judge just stating that this is his personal opinion, he should be going a step ahead, issuing a direction there both to the government, the state government, to release those details and have it in the public domain for the sake of Jayalalitha's supporters.
Yeah, yes, I agree with what Mr. Swami is saying. I think that will put to rest all these speculations. See, it is very sad that such a tall leader, you know, her death is mired in mystery. I think that should not happen to such a tall leader of the state of Tamil Nadu. If the judge feels so, then, you know, it is within his bounds, within his power to ask the appropriate authorities to put forward the reports, at least to satisfy the court. If at least the court says, yes, I'm satisfied, I think it will put to rest all these speculations.
Lokpriya, correspondent who's been getting us those details. Lokpriya, help us understand on what really prompted a senior judge such as him to make this statement. We know that there are a few cases there, some PILs that have been filed asking for the same details.
Well, that's correct. This petition was filed by Joseph, an AIDMK cadre. It was filed 2 days back, and it was filed stating that there needs to be a proper detail regarding the health status of J. Jayalalithaa, because the Apollo hospitals had given a statement saying that she is on proper diet and she is doing well, and few opposition parties have raised this issue, and that is the reason why, as an AIDMK cadre, even I am raising this issue and I have petitioned the Madras High Court. That is what the petition of Joseph says, and Justice Vaidyalingam was hearing this case, and he had raised some serious doubts regarding why the central government has not given any clarification on this issue, and this case has now been posted for the 9th of January.
Okay, so the next hearing we're looking at 9th of January. So we are looking at some forward movement based on what the judge has just stated, Lokpriya. There could be a possibility here, Lokpriya, that the judge could go ahead and issue those directions to the hospital and the state government, since this is only mid-hearing that we're looking at.
Well, definitely yes, because there were several doubts that were raised following the sudden demise of the former Chief Minister. We saw opposition parties questioning the state government, asking them to release a white paper so as that there are these rumors that were doing rounds regarding her health status. To quell those rumors, the opposition parties wanted a white paper, but the ruling AIDMK government rejected the demand, stating that Jayalalithaa was treated by world-class physicians and all of them had regularly updated the media with their medical bulletins, and that would suffice. And as a state government, they did not have any role to play. So now another petition has now come up at the Madras High Court, and the judge has made some very serious remarks. So we need to see how this case goes
Please
forward
stay
from
with us.
here on.
Stay with us, Lokpriya. Some more details are coming in from our colleague, our correspondent Mohammed Saleh. Please go ahead.
Absolutely, sir. Now, NewsX has got the copy of the affidavit that has been filed in the Madras High Court. This is the copy of the affidavit that NewsX has accessed first. Now, it's very interesting as to what has been filed in this affidavit. Now, the person who's filed the affidavit is one gentleman called P.A. Joseph, and he is the one who has raised questions about the manner in which this entire aspect of Jayalalitha's health was actually kept under secrecy. Now, this is what he states. Now, I am the petitioner herein, and as such, and I'm well acquainted with the facts of the case as stated hereunder. He goes on to state that the petitioner states that the present petition is filed in public interest. Now, the present petition is moved seeking for the appointment of a commission that is headed by the retired Supreme Court judge under provisions of Commissions of Enquiry Act 1952 be set up by the central government to find out the truth and inquire into the mysterious death of the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Miss Dr. J. Jayalalithaa, as it was done in the case of our national leader, Neta Subhash Chandra Bose. Now, this is essentially what he has said, and this is what has been sought, that a commission of inquiry headed by a retired Supreme Court judge be set up to probe as to why the various aspects of the sequence of events that actually led up to the death of the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, J. Jayalalithaa, have not been put forth in the public domain. And it's actually a very, very detailed petition that has been filed by Joseph. Now, he goes through the various aspects of the case, going through the, it was on the 22nd of September that J. Jayalalithaa was,
Stay with us, please. Getting in a word here from Mr. Suman C. Raman, an independent voice here coming in on this. Mr. Raman, would you be in agreement with this? Should details, the health, the circumstances that led to her death of a public personality, of someone who held office of the Chief Minister, should be made entirely public?
Look, this entire issue has come about because of this tremendous secrecy that was maintained over 74, 73, 74-day period. And that has led to a lot of doubts in the minds of the people. So, I mean, there have been doubts expressed even earlier. There have been petitions filed even earlier. So I think that, if the Madras High Court right now is in the stage of observations, and they've ordered notices to be sent to the state government and ask for a response before 9th of January. But if the court does indeed find some merit in the petition, then they are, at full liberty to order a full inquiry. And that is really, is the next stage that should the court decide on the merits of the matter.
Okay, so Mr. Raman, you're saying the court being well within their rights and jurisdiction to really instruct the hospital, the state government, more importantly, to release those details?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the High Court will certainly be within, it will be within the right of the High Court to ask for those documents. And maybe after they have perused the documents and got expert medical opinion as well, then, they could take a call on whether an inquiry is warranted or not.
Please stay on with us. We have Mr. N. Ram of the Hindu with us, a senior voice here coming in. Appreciate you being with us, sir. In your view, should details of someone who's held office, a public personality such as Jayalalithaa, be made public in this manner? Do you think it's a fair question here being raised?
I think there's a lot of emotion here and overstatements. It is true, and let us also remind ourselves that these are just observations from the bench. These are not part of the order and so on. So we'll have to wait and see what emerges. But subject to that, it is clear that in the initial period, it was quite long, actually. Very little information was allowed to come out by the government and those around Jayalalithaa, the so-called family, the adopted family.
Right.
They put out misleading statements, wrong statements, and so on. But I don't think the doctors were happy with this. I know that when the chairman of the hospital, Dr. P.C. Reddy, began to speak, he was very professional. And spoke as a doctor, revealing, what he thought needed to be revealed about the general condition. Even a chief minister has a right to privacy. There's no question about it.
Right.
And all the health details need not be released in the public realm. But But you need to, reveal more than you would do for somebody who's purely a private person, private citizen.
Okay.
In which case, you need not put out anything because much is at stake. There's a lot of anxiety, etc. That's well known. And the best course would be to be truthful. Take the case of the DMK and the health of Mr. Karunanidhi. They, of course, they are not in government, but they are very much there's a major political party. It's a public, there's public interest in it,
Right.
and they've been extremely forthcoming.
So
No
Mr.
detail
Ram,
has
are you
been
saying that this demand also, the chorus for this, of course, to release those details also increasing because the secret manner in which it was handled?
If you look at the information put over time, I think Apollo Hospital did put out very correctly and professionally information, and I have followed this in detail because almost blow by blow, and it is clear to me that Jayalalithaa was recovering very slowly and steadily after a very difficult period. Her life was certainly a life-threatening condition that brought her to hospital, and for many days she fought for her life, and they did a good job. But eventually, the infection, she came with sepsis. There was a leak in the mitral valve. We know this. All this has been reported.
That's right.
Fluid collection collected in the lung couldn't be stopped. Her lower body muscles were very weak.
Right.
The lower part of the left lung had collapsed and so on. But all these were systematically overcome. The doctors, I think, the teams did a tremendous job.
Right.
I was there at the memorial meeting in Apollo Hospital.
Okay.
I was one of the speakers for Jayalalithaa, Chief Minister Jayalalithaa, and the health minister was there, the health secretary, the doctors, Dr. P.C. Reddy. Nobody could, if people imagine they all lied and she never recovered, I don't think that nurses, doctors, and all of them could sing the same tune lying about it. So they
all right. Mr. Ram, appreciate that view. That view, of course, coming in from you, Mr. Suman Sriraman. Many thanks, Lokpriya, our correspondent, getting us those inputs there. While some details are out in the public domain, more should have been out, is the demand. Thanks for being with us.